Today, we're digging into a conflict that has completely broken out of its original borders. What started as a military fight has just declared war on the global economy itself. And believe me, the front line is getting a lot closer to all of us.
Okay, let's just get straight to the point here. The entire nature of this story has shifted. We're not just talking about military targets or old border disputes anymore. No, this war has moved. It's now being fought right in the Gulf's economic heart, targeting the very energy infrastructure that, let's be honest, powers our entire world. This is an entirely new and frankly much more dangerous game.
So, to really get what's going on, you have to understand that the rules of engagement here have been completely torn up and rewritten. It's a huge strategic shift away from military-on-military action and straight into economic warfare. And the fallout from that, well, it's global.
Just look at this transformation. What used to be a somewhat contained conflict between two countries with direct military targets has just exploded into something way, way bigger. Now, it's an entire regional system being targeted. And the bullseye isn't on a tank or a base anymore, it's on civilian energy infrastructure. We're talking about the economic engine of the Gulf. And when you hit that, the consequences are felt everywhere. And this is absolutely critical, because the battlefield itself has moved. We're not just looking at the skies over Iran or Israel anymore. The new front line has been drawn right through some of America's key allies in the region, countries that probably thought they were safely out of the line of fire.
And make no mistake, these are not random places. We're talking about Kuwait, a huge oil producer and a vital U.S. security partner, and Bahrain, which is basically the hub for Western defense coordination in the area. By going after infrastructure here, the message being sent is crystal clear. The cost of this conflict is going to be shared by everyone, especially America's closest friends in the region.
So this gets us to the absolute core of the new strategy. The main weapons in this war? They're not missiles, they're not drones. The new arsenal is all economic, and it's designed to inflict maximum pain, not on a battlefield, but in the global marketplace.
And here they are, the new targets. Oil refineries, industrial parks, export terminals, even desalination plants. These aren't just buildings. They're the vital organs of the Gulf's energy economy. And the goal here isn't just to cause physical damage. It's to create strategic disruption. It's a direct assault on the entire energy network that supports America's partners and, ultimately, keeps the global economy from falling apart. So, you might be asking, what's the official reasoning here? Well, from Tehran's point of view, the logic is pretty straightforward. They're basically saying, hey, if our civilian and economic systems get hit, then the entire regional system that supports that pressure is going to be at risk too. It's a strategy of mutual vulnerability. Simple as that.
And this is exactly what makes the situation so incredibly volatile. It's a total communication breakdown. On one side, you've got Washington talking about deadlines, leverage, and how things are nearing completion. And on the other side, you have Tehran talking about retaliation and national sovereignty. They're not even speaking the same language. They're on two completely different planets. And that, my friends, is a recipe for a massive miscalculation.
And that brings us to it, the ultimate ticking time bomb in this whole crisis. A single, narrow strip of water that is quite literally holding the entire global economy hostage. We are, of course, talking about the Strait of Hormuz.
Take a good look at this number, 20%. This single figure is why global markets, diplomats, and military strategists are basically holding their breath right now, because this number represents one of the biggest vulnerabilities on the entire planet.
That's right, one-fifth of the world's total oil supply has to sail through this one tiny choke point. So you can see any disruption here, any blockage, it's not just a local problem. It is the trigger for a catastrophic chain reaction that would be felt in every corner of the globe.
And look, this isn't some abstract idea. This is the exact sequence of events that gives world leaders and economists nightmares. The moment that strait closes, oil tankers are frozen in place. Then, shipping insurance, which is the lifeblood of global trade, it just collapses. Instantly, oil prices would go through the roof and global markets would dive into a full-blown panic. It is the economic doomsday button.
Okay, so let's bring this all back home. Because a problem like this doesn't just stay in the Gulf. It travels. It translates directly into a global crisis that affects every single one of us. This is the moment the conflict stops being a news story and starts hitting your wallet.
This whole confrontation is already sending massive shockwaves through the global economy. And you can see it right here.
The first and biggest hit, no surprise, is to fuel and energy prices. Right after that, shipping and supply chains get hammered. But the ripple effect keeps going. It hits the stock market, industrial materials, and eventually the price you pay for just about everything.
So, what does this actually mean for you, personally? It's pretty straightforward. What happens in the Gulf does not stay in the Gulf. It means you're going to pay more at the pump, it means shipping costs for all the stuff you buy are going to go up, and it means there's a very, very real risk of tipping the whole world into a major recession. And that really brings us to the bottom line here. What we are all watching is a regional conflict morphing into a full-scale economic war. The real front line isn't in the sky or on some patch of land anymore. It is the world economy itself.
Which leaves us all with one massive question to think about. In a world where economic infrastructure is the new primary battlefield, is any nation's economy truly safe from the front lines? That's the new reality we're facing.